the fact that you, at an early age, at 13, that you had the wherewithal to go to the gym and focus on that, that would have given me such great direction. I wish I had had that in my life.
Well, you know what? I did it out of necessity. I was getting beat up every day.
You?
Yes, I didn't always look like this. I was a small, scrawny kid, typical like back of the comic book, kick sand in your face, read this and then become big.
You were getting your ass kicked.
Every day, yeah. I had my dad buy me a weight set to be at home, and I just started on my weight set at home every day without fail because I was getting beat up. I didn't exactly have a huge social circle, so I had a lot of time to myself.
Yeah.
So I would just work out every day, and by the time I matriculated to like high school from junior high at age 15 or 16, 3.5 years of working out in the prime of adolescence and eating well started to show its yield. And that's when coaches were like, hey, you should try out for the football team, or you'd be good at this sport. So it kind of helped me get new pathways in life.
Did you go back and beat any of these douchebags up?
Not a one.
Oh, you should do it today.
Not a one.
You should look them up and beat the fuck out of them.
That would be very costly today.
Big mistake.
That's a poor management decision, yeah.
You know, we've met before, and we got into the whole family background with your dad.
Yeah.
Your father was a tough guy. He had massive respect for wrestlers, and even used to say to you, you'll sit here and watch professional wrestling on TV. I can't imagine what that pressure was like when you became a wrestler and you went into the field and you knew the old man was watching. Like, I got to win my father over. He's going to love me if I become a wrestler.
You know, I think for a while I might have thought that. Yeah. And then I think for a while it was like, I'm going to do this just to shove it up his ass.
Right.
And I love my dad. I really do. He's, we just see life in different perspectives. But I can't say that I love my dad and not try to work on that love with my dad. So we're in a place now where we operate a lot differently.
What do you mean? If you don't mind me prying a bit.
I'm thinking for him that's wrong, but from my perspective, I really think he would have loved to have the opportunities that I'd been given.
Is the old man still alive?
He is.
And for a while, he got his break, like being the announcer on the WWE because of you.
He actually had the chance to be the main event of Monday Night Raw. He had the chance to be the main event of a WWE then pay-per-view, now premium live event. Like, he's been on the shows.
Did he ever take you aside and say, John, I love you. You mean everything to me, or something? Did you ever get it from him?
So the match where I threw the guy through two tables was in Toronto, where Adam Copeland is loved. So the crowd loved him and they hated me. But my dad was sitting ringside, and the only thing I could think to do after that match was go hug my dad. And we shared like, I love you, son. I love you, dad. And that's very genuine. It was not lip service.
Wow.
Because from my dad's perspective, he's sitting ringside, you know, watching his son do something magical. I think what lacked was pulling me aside and saying, holy shit, thank you.
Right.
Because I love this, and I probably love it more than you, and I love the WWE. And
I know you do.
I think he loves wrestling more than I do. I really do. Never of like, thank you for allowing me to be part of this. It was more like, man, I should have been here all along.
There's something so sad in waiting for that and never getting it.
There is something sad, and I think for me, the origin of the sadness is like, I'm not enough. And one of those days, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm doing okay. And I think when that moment of clarity happened, that's when I started to better my relationship with my dad. That's when I started to better my relationship with myself. That's when I started to really connect with the people I love in my life. And now, thankfully, to get over my own bullshit, he's much more of my dad, much more of my father. We're beginning to lean into those conversations. He's openly told me that he loves me. He's openly told me that I've done extremely well. He's very, very proud of me and just me. And like, that's not without any instigation. That's not like, hey, Dad, you never did this for me. That's us sharing a cigar and a glass of scotch in his recliner and like, hey, man, I don't know anything about your childhood. Tell me about what was like growing up. What were you like in college? And that spawns to, you know what? I love you, son, and you've done incredibly well for yourself, and I'm super proud. So those conversations have started to happen recently, and they're extremely rewarding, but I just had to get out of the way on my own bullshit.